Hello, I'm Danny Ellis.
And I'm Claire Garoutte.
It is time for our December episode of Unity News. And we're back. Merry Christmas and welcome everybody to our busy Unity News show. We're going to go ahead and get started because we have a lot going on.
A lot
going on. This could be
December is busy.
It's busy as can be. It always is up here on the hill. So here are the items making news. James Freeman, the St. Paul's worship team leader and St. Paul's choir director, has resigned effectively December 31st. James, who took over back in May of this year of the praise band, was well known for his work promoting unity with the music styles in the parish. James was a guest on Unity News as well, and he'll be missed as a leader in the parish. David Priest will be taking over as the role of praise band leader. Unity News is also reaching out to the Saturday Night Choir to see what's going to be happening with that, and we'll let you know as soon as we can, as soon as we find something out about that. Claire, what's going on with, I saw your interview with Allison and Rebecca.
Yes.
And it was a really good interview.
It was great.
Yeah.
We had just tons of fun.
It looked like you were having a lot of fun with that. Well, let's share that with the viewers.
Hi, I'm Claire Garoutte with Unity News. Tonight I'm here with Miss Rebecca Steimel, the principal of St. Paul's School, and our Bazaar chairperson, Miss Allison Swann. Hey, ladies.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Yep, thank you for having us. We're excited.
Tonight we're going to ask a few questions about the Bazaar, and we'd like to know the results. The St. Paul annual Christmas Bazaar was a few weeks ago. We had tons of fun. It was great to see how effective the new Parish Life Center was handling the large crowd. Do y'all know about how many we had in attendance?
We have estimated around 350 to 375. We estimated that by the amount of people that ate the food. So we had two different prices for the plates. One was $8 for kid plates and one was $12. So I just cut that down the middle and averaged $10 a plate. And we grossed almost $3,500 off of the meal. So around 350 to 375 is what
Is that kind of what we were expecting to show?
Yes. We had expected between 350 375. That's how much food we had planned for.
Okay.
So.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
it was
great.
That was great. Yeah, good turnout.
That's great. All right. The focus for this year's bazaar was a new speaker and intercom system for the school. Was that goal met? And do you have a rough estimate on the amount of money that was raised for the school in general?
So the way that we did the speakers this year was that we had it as an instant buy where you could purchase one on the GiveSmart page. 5 of those were bought outright, which is phenomenal. We need 17 for the school. However, since the bazaar was so incredibly successful and our community was so generous this year that we raised almost $6,000 more than we have last year. So there's more than enough to be able to meet the needs of the speaker system. And what we have estimated that the bazaar has made is $50,211.
Okay.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So is the plan to just go ahead and purchase, like you said, the new speaker system with the money from the bazaar, or are we still looking for 12 donors?
No, we were just planning to use that extra money. Yeah, just
Okay.
the money that was raised. We'll just go ahead and pull it from there to fund that. So
Okay.
I've actually made the contact to go ahead and get that in place because that's something that we really, really need in school.
Right.
And so we're hoping to maybe get that going over Christmas break as soon as we can. As soon
Okay.
as we can. So,
All right. Fantastic. That's really exciting.
yes.
Are there any other school projects this year's bazaar will help fund if enough money is left over from the remaining speakers that were bought?
I don't really have anything just in mind. I do have a few ideas of things that we would like to have happen at our school.
Okay.
We need a new oven. Miss Leanna needs a new oven in her kitchen. We need some new fencing on the playground. Our school would love to have a new facelift and get some paint in the interior, some new playground equipment. And we recently found out that our boiler system that we have that has been in place since the school was built had a busted pipe. And so that's our main heating system. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens there because we may have to put some money towards that. But definitely lots of extra money left over for us to help with these extra projects that we're looking to do for our school. So, yeah.
And in case of there's an emergency, I suppose.
Yes,
so maybe
absolutely.
that boiler system, huh?
Yes.
All right. So after talking about the money, what was the most popular silent auction items this year?
So I would just like to start by saying that the silent auction made $17,629 and the raffle items made $12,297. So Miss Joanne and Miss Susan and Miss Angie that ran that did a phenomenal job.
They did fantastic. They put in a lot of hard work.
Yes, they did. And doing it online with that GiveSmart account has been great in the past few years doing that. So
okay.
The items that seemed to be the most popular was the Invisalign that Dr. Carla Baltz donated. That brought in $1,901. Trey and Mallory Steimel's North Fork Lake House was very popular, bringing in $1,200. The duck hunt that was donated by Greg Baltz brought in $900. And then the classroom baskets this year were excellent. So they went from each classroom basket went from anywhere from $140 to $735. So those classroom baskets were
they were
big
really
money makers.
That's the second year we've done that?
No, we've done classroom baskets for several years. It's just we changed it this year to do, instead of just items, we wanted to do an experience.
Right.
You know, people like to pay for experiences and memories with their families.
Right.
And so I told each teacher to try to pick an experience, and they did that, and the baskets were great. Yeah. So
it's tons of fun.
Yes.
Lots of fun. Okay, so I saw on Facebook and may have voted for my own. One of the St. Paul's teachers have won a prize, maybe the most popular teacher, favorite teacher award.
Yes.
Who won and what was the prize?
Well, it was Miss Tiffany Baltz, and she won the favorite teacher, and she had 590 votes. So she had a lot of votes, yes. And she will receive a gift basket from Murphy Design here in town that'll be personalized with some of her favorite things. And I would also, while we're talking about Miss Tiffany Baltz, would like to recognize her. She was also voted Best of Randolph County Middle School Teacher. So we are super excited to have someone that was voted Best of Randolph County here at St. Paul School. And we had a teacher last year, Miss Christy Steele, who was also voted Best of Randolph County elementary teacher. So that's really good recognition for our school.
Some of our own.
Yes, some of our very own Sabre teachers.
Now, those votes were $1 a piece, right?
They were $1 a piece.
So she made in votes $590.
$590, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yep. That's fun for the kids too. The stage decorations for the photos with Santa, the photo shoot was awesome. We would like to know who arranged the stage, and did the Bazaar committee get a photo with Santa?
We didn't get a photo with Santa. We should have, but I think we were all running around working. And
it was hard.
Everybody was
hard
just
to think
busy.
about. Yeah.
As far as the decorations for the stage, the whole committee came together and brought things and put it together. And then Ashley Harper donated the balloon arch, which really tied everything together and made it look beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really great. And the kids loved it. Seeing those big inflatables and the big balloon arch, and of course Santa up there too.
It definitely stood out.
Yes.
So the stage was on point. It
Yes.
looked great. Recently, just within the last few weeks, the Grinch has delivered some cookies from Sugar Pig Cookies and to some of the houses around town. Are there any plans to check in with the Grinch to see if maybe he could pair up with Santa this next year?
So it's funny that you ask that because I don't know that everybody out there knows, but it was very difficult to get Santa from the North Pole this year.
Yes,
Very
it
difficult.
was.
He was super busy.
Couldn't
There's
pull
been
him away.
a lot of good boys and girls out there, so it was very hard to get Santa to St. Paul's this year, but we got him.
We did.
In the meantime, when we didn't know whether Santa was going to be able to make it, we had talked about reaching out to the Grinch to see if he could come. So, and then we ended up Santa's schedule cleared, so we were able to get him. But next year, that might be something that we need to look into, is having both of them there.
Yeah.
I think that would be really fun for the kiddos.
And I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but we did have an inflatable Grinch at the bazaar, and he was stuck outside, and he was peeking in the windows. Like he wasn't welcome at the bazaar. I don't know if anyone noticed that, but that was a cute little extra to our bazaar. But maybe next year we can invite the Grinch,
himself
to come to our bazaar. So the kids would probably like that.
That's cute. There was a table full of St. Paul School swag. Is there anywhere, in case they missed out on that they could go ahead and purchase it, like through the school or at church? Or?
We do have some items left, and if anyone would like to purchase them, we have some tumblers left. We have a couple T-shirts left. We could possibly even do another order if someone needed an extra item if we didn't have it. And some saber ornaments that have St. Paul sabers on it that would be cute on your Christmas tree. Right. So we do have some of those items left. If you would like to purchase any, you can stop by the school and grab those.
Okay. All right. Now, this is the last question. It's a little early to be talking about it. Maybe not too early, but about Mardi Gras. We have an annual Mardi Gras, which is another really large fundraiser for the school. Mm-hmm. So what are the plans for Mardi Gras this year?
So Mardi Gras is actually already in full swing. They are already making plans. And the big thing about Mardi Gras this year is it's going to be in person. So we are so excited to have it in person. It's going to be on February 11th. At the Parish Life Center again. So we're excited to utilize that space again. And Chef D is booked. He's going to prepare a New Orleans style Cajun meal, and they're going to have a casino and a raffle, live auction, silent auction. And we're hoping that event is just as successful as our bazaar, because it goes to our school and it helps PTO, and PTO does a lot for our students and for our school and the teachers, and so it's a really good event to support, and it's a fun night. So
it's a fun night for the parents.
Yes, it's an adult night, and so grab babysitters and bring your friends and come have a good time.
Okay, so February 11th. At the Parish Life Center.
Parish Life Center.
All right. Yep. Is there anything else that y'all would like to add? I know I'm so happy. We have the new Life Center that we were able to utilize it. It seemed to, I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. Whenever, I don't know, the gym looks so much larger. So whenever we transitioned to the Parish Life Center, I was like, ooh, but it seemed to work out perfect with the kiddie land, the cakewalk up front, with where they ate and, everything. It worked out really well. So, I mean, I guess there's plenty of space for everyone.
Yes.
So we plan on doing Mardi Gras over there.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I would just like to say thank you. Thank you to all of our supporters. Thank you to everyone that came to the in-person event and bid on things, got online on the silent auction, and came and ate the meal, which was delicious, by the way. All of the community members that donated those side items were great. And so thank you for supporting our students, our teachers, and our school, and most importantly, Catholic education, because we have a really special place here, and it's supporters like you that keep us going. So thank you.
Well, thank y'all so much for coming in and giving us that update.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
No problem. I am Claire with Unity News. Back to you, Danny.
And we're back with Father Elser. Merry Christmas, Father.
Merry Christmas, Danny.
It's a great busy
Claire.
season at December. And Claire, we don't want to forget about Claire. And we don't want to forget about Angie, too. And we want to wish a Merry Christmas to all of our viewers and parishioners from Unity News. Father has a few things that he wants to discuss, and we're going to hand it off to you, Father, and let you have it. So
Sure. So one of the things I'd like to discuss is parish council. So we're going to have parish council elections at the end of January. And so I never really had an opportunity to explain what parish council is. You know, it's not really a topic for a homily necessarily. And by the end of Mass, when I normally say things, I don't really have a whole lot of time to explain what exactly parish council is. So I'd like to just take a little bit of time to make sure everyone's on the same page as far as what parish council is and how it functions in the life of the parish. Now, I brought with me the diocesan policies for pastoral councils. This is a 10-page document. We're not going to go over this whole thing, but I do want to highlight a few things that I think would be good to, again, for all of us to be on the same page about. So, first of all, is the name parish council. There really is no such thing as a parish council. There are actually, you could consider there being two parish councils. One of them is the pastoral council, and one of them is the finance council. But really, in reality, there's no such thing as a parish council. I mean, parish council is much easier to say. It's a kind of words that we use, but it doesn't really exist, right? So what we're really talking about is pastoral council. And why that's a good, maybe better description of what this body does is that very simply the pastoral council advises the pastor on the pastoral needs of the parish, right? So all this kind of pastoral language, right? So can be a misconception that a parish council or pastoral council rather is maybe like a council of elders or like a board of directors or something that's voting and doing things like that, which is not exactly what the idea of this council is. It's a pastoral council that helps me in running the parish, advises me on running the parish. Now, of course, you know, I'm happy to hear out any parishioner as far as advising me or giving ideas or suggestions on what we can be doing better or how to run the parish. It doesn't necessarily have to be a parish council member who's giving me advice or ideas. Anybody really in the parish can do that. But the sort of advantage of the pastoral council is that we meet regularly, and if I've got something that's concerning me or if I want to run something by the parish, the pastoral council is sort of the representative of the parish where I can sort of bounce ideas and kind of get a general sense of what the parishioners are thinking, right? So that's kind of the idea, at least the idea of what this body is, right? It's a group of our parishioners who are helping me with the pastoral issues of the parish, me being the pastor, right? All this kind of pastor language. So with that in mind, let me just read a few things again from this policy manual, just very briefly. So what are the responsibilities and objectives of the pastoral council? To assess the needs of the entire parish and its members and to advise the pastor regarding those needs. Pretty self-explanatory. To foster a sense of unity and community within the parish. It's a very important part of what the pastoral council does, right? At the end of the day, myself and the pastoral council were all kind of on the same page as far as the direction of the parish, even amidst maybe different ideas being discussed at these meetings. To coordinate all parish activities in a manner that will best serve the interests of the parish, especially in fulfilling the purpose of the pastoral council. Meaning, there's a lot of things that go on here at St. Paul's. I can't do them all. So the pastoral council is kind of an avenue to kind of see, you know, what parishioners are good at doing this or leading that so that we can have all these ministries and things being done in the parish. Finally, to advise the pastor and help him direct the parish in various aspects of parish life, including liturgy, adult and youth faith formation, charitable activities and outreach, stewardship, fellowship, and overall parish life. Again, kind of hitting all the different areas of the parish. The pastoral council helps to fulfill all those different things that we at St. Paul's are trying to do as a parish. So that's kind of an overview of what the pastoral council is. Now, in the past, we have had pastoral council elections, which we're still going to do. So I'm going to read very, very quickly kind of one of the rules or the kind of bylaws of what the parish council or how the elections go about. It is for the pastor to nominate individuals to stand for election and or to approve any parishioners who nominate themselves for election with the input of the council and others in the parish community. Selections of member of the council can be done by appointment of the pastor, by election from amongst the members of the parish, or some combination of the two. Okay. So in the past, I've done here 3 members being elected each time. This year, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to do 2 elected members from among the parish, and then 1 that I'm going to appoint. And this is just to make sure that kind of the dynamic of the parish council, pastoral council, whatever, best represents the parish. And so kind of using my judgment to see who would best be able to fit on the pastoral council, again, to help run the things or the activities of the parish. And so that's kind of where we're going to be headed for elections and kind of considering the 3 new members of this new council. All right. Question?
I don't have any questions. Do you, Danny?
No, I'm just listening. Okay. I'm just listening.
A few other things just to go over real quick. Any registered active member of the parish who is at least 18 years of age and in full communion with the Catholic Church is eligible to be a member of the council. Council members must have the ability to consider the needs of the entire parish, listen to and consider the ideas of others, be committed to attending meetings, and maintain a respectful attitude towards the teachings and beliefs of the Catholic Church. So I read that off. If you're interested in becoming a member of the pastoral council, these are the sort of things that I would be looking for in members to serve on this body. And lastly, one other thing I kind of want to just make sure we clear up here. As a consultative body, the council does not necessarily need to vote on all matters in order to fulfill its function, and indeed the council should strive to reach consensus on all matters that it considers. The council's vote is always non-binding and merely consultative. So I just bring this up just to make sure that we're all on the same page here. When I first got here, the first few meetings of parish council, it seemed like we were voting on everything. And that's not really the idea of what the council is doing. The council, again, is advising the pastor. Sometimes there are very specific situations where I may want a vote, and again, this is a consultative vote so that I can figure out how best to run the parish. But again, this idea of consensus is something that's very important to me when it comes to these meetings, right? That we're all kind of, even with different ideas and kind of interpretations of where the parish is going, we're all kind of unified in consensus on what we're doing here at St. Paul's. So that's kind of the shortened version of this nice 10-page document. There's no secret here. You can find this on the diocesan website if you really want to read through the whole thing. But those are the ones I think that kind of specifically apply to our parish. And again, trying to want to get very clear on what exactly the pastoral council is. Again, you'll hear me probably call it parish council here and there, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's this pastoral council that's helping me to be pastor to you all.
Right, right. Has there been some confusion about the role of parish council that kind of made you want to really cover this tonight? Or
I think it's been clear with the members of the council.
Right, right.
I'm not sure that maybe those who were running in the previous years knew exactly what they were getting into. I mean, they were happy to serve in any way.
Right.
But I've heard council members in the past say, well, this is a lot different than I was expecting, you know. And so I kind of want to make sure you kind of, if you are wanting to be on the parish council, that you kind of know what you're getting into. And then the parish at large kind of knowing what the parish council actually does.
Right, right. Okay. I think you also had an update on the emergency line to be able to get in touch with you.
Yes. So we've had Ritter come out again to work on our phone system, and I'm happy to say that I've tested this emergency line, and it's working very well. So all you have to do is call the church office, which, the number is published in the bulletin, 870-892-3319. And if there's no one in the office, a voicemail with options will sound, right? Will be recorded. And you'll listen to it, and one of the first things it says is, if this is an emergency and you're in need of a priest, press 3, right? So when you press 3, that goes to my office phone here in the office, or the rectory as people know it. And if I'm not up in my office, do leave me a voicemail, and then once that voicemail has been recorded, my office phone will call my cell phone so that I know there's some kind of message on my office phone. And I'd like to reserve that for emergencies, but you can call and leave a message about anything, but it will contact me even if you don't have my cell phone number or can't find someone who does have my cell number. Just call the office and go through the prompts, and you'll get in contact with me. I will say it's not perfect. When I tested it, and as I've been testing it, it takes about 15 minutes for me to get the message on my cell phone. I'd like for it to be immediate, but,
Right.
15 minutes is better than having absolutely nothing, which is what we've had in the past. So do be patient if I don't get back to you right away with whatever emergency it is, but I will eventually get back to you now that we've got this all set up.
Great. I think that was a fantastic idea. Did you come up with that idea originally?
Well, so this is kind of how the system worked at my previous parish.
Sure. That's a great idea.
That's kind of the model I followed as far as setting it up for our parish. And once Ritter came and kind of fixed our phone system, I played around with my office phone and kind of got it all to get working. So
Right.
that's how our emergency line's
Right.
going to work for our parish.
Well, I think that is a much needed thing, and I think that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So when we return, we'll be having questions from you, the viewers, for Father Elster. We'll be right back.
It is here where you'll find the best marriage counselor, greatest healer, wisest teacher, and closest friend. It's a place where you'll escape the chaos of the world and find the lasting peace that only comes from God. Jesus is personally waiting to embrace you now with his divine mercy and healing love. Jesus is calling you home to his sacred heart today.
I need your mercy. I need a Savior.
Welcome back. We've consolidated several questions. This past month, we've had several questions come in that people wanted to ask Father. To be fair to everybody and to give transparency and to be able to answer your questions, I kind of consolidated these into 3 different questions. So, that being said, please send your questions in, because we're not hiding anything. Father's not hiding anything. No one is hiding anything. We want to be transparent. So we're going to start with the first question, which was a big question. Father Elster, the organ and the sound system both are on their last leg. I think that's kind of obvious. Is anything being done about this, and how long until the speakers stop popping during Mass and the organ is working right again?
Okay. So let me kind of clarify the issues with the organ. So you say in a certain sense, sure, the organ's on its last leg, but in another sense, it's really not as bad as we might think. So our organ company, I believe it's called Colby. I don't know where. I think they're an out-of-state company. They're the ones that come and tune the organ, and they kind of gave me a proposal as far as basically getting our organ back up to 100%. So that being kind of done in 3 phases. And the first phase, which to me is the most important right now, is that the blower on the organ, which is what, of course, puts wind through the pipes, because it's a pipe organ, right? It is overheating, and it's kind of a cause for concern right now. So really, the other 2 phases that the organ company suggests or quoted me, to me, those are kind of icing on the cake. as far as, there were some pipes that were not ever installed in the organ, and it's very difficult for the tuners to get into the organ. I don't know how much people know about organ. I'm an organist myself, and the way you tune the organ is you've got to get to those individual pipes and either sort of raise or lower them, because that's how we tune things. And so the phase 2 is focused on better chamber access. The chamber refers to all the pipes that are in the organ. And then the third phase is to kind of hook up all of those extra pipes and things that were not originally installed, and to get it back to 100%. Again, that phase 2 and 3 is kind of, it would be nice, but not necessary, I think, at this point. I won't lie. The quote for all phases was $100,000. The quote for phase 1 is $20,000 to replace the blower, and then do the math for phase 2 and 3. They also gave me a complete renovation option, which was $600,000. Not sure if we're going to go that route, unless one of our viewers just happens to have that lying around. So now I will say that one of the parishioners has agreed to get in contact with St. Peter the Fisherman in Mountain Home to find out who services their organ. They have a very nice pipe organ, just to see if it's a different company, so we can maybe get another quote, just to see what our options are. And I know another one of our volunteers has offered to actually look at the blower. He's very good with mechanical work, to see if he can do something to keep it from overheating. Just a few temporary fixes before, we actually look at doing things right, I guess. Right. So, okay, so that's the organ. It's, it's fine in a certain sense. We'd like to get that overheated blower worked on, but generally it's okay. Not great, just okay. Right. A sound system. Now, the sound system, I know, has been kind of, some parishioners installed these things, other parishioners installed this, maybe one parishioner kind of did these sorts of, so it's kind of been a combined effort of many different parishioners in putting in the sound system, which, I'm very grateful for. We've had a lot of parishioners kind of work on the sound system throughout the years. I'm really interested in kind of, getting rid of the old sound system and kind of going completely from scratch, right? And getting a professional company to come in and actually give us a kind of professional sound system. Now, again, nothing against, any of those parishioners that have helped in the past, but I think it's time, the sound system is something that's very important for our church, and so I think it's something that we should invest in. Now, again, not to lie or hide anything, I haven't gotten quotes yet. I'm planning to get in contact with a few companies in Jonesboro. When we signed the contracts to do the AV equipment here in the Life Center, we went with a company out of Little Rock, which I'm not going to consider, just because I'd rather have someone local to be able to come and service our church if anything happens or whatnot.
Not have a 2-hour one-way service call drive.
Right, exactly. I think the company in Little Rock is great and, has done well so far with doing things in the Life Center, but for the church, I'd like to go with someone a little more local. Again, sense of transparency, the cost for putting AV equipment here in the Life Center is a little over $100,000. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be around that figure for doing things in the church as well. Kind of considering how much all the wires we have to run and new speaker system and soundboards and everything, it's probably going to be pretty expensive. But I think it's an expense that's well worth it. There's many different projects I'd like to see happen, but that's probably one of the ones that
these just popped up. These were just things
literally
you can't really plan on. Or the parish council is hard to advise you on this whenever something happens between meetings, and we have two systems that are very important to the operations of the parish, kind of go bonkers on us.
Sure. So speaker system is kind of probably top priority
as far as
it's a must.
Yeah,
you know,
we're gonna hear you.
Organ would be nice. You know, I kind of, you know, we just use it Saturday evenings, so it'll be okay. But I use the sound system daily for daily masses and for kids mass and everything. So they're both important, of course. But
So I have a question.
Sure.
When do you think you're going to talk to?
probably after.
Are you wanting to start this soon, or are you wanting to?
Yeah, I probably after the first of the year,
Okay.
kind of once Christmas
Yeah,
and everything
right.
kind of
Everyone's back in work.
subsides a little bit.
It's hard to find people when you
It
call.
Sure,
Because
sure.
people are out on
And
social,
you know, I've been in Jonesboro a handful of times recently. I've gone by one of the companies, and they've always been out on the job. You know, so
Right.
I'd like to meet someone in person, but you know, I'll have to give phone calls here after the first of the year. But yeah.
Okay. Our second consolidated question is: there are rumors that the praise band is going to be moved upstairs. Can you offer any clarity to this issue to stop these unnecessary and unbeneficial rumors that are going around?
Sure. Let me just say that at this point, there are going to be no drastic changes when it comes to the band. Now, there are things that I would like to see changed, and I don't want to talk about those things right now without having consulted with the head of the praise band, which before was James, which, you know, we're losing James, but David Priest has agreed to kind of take back over the praise band. So I want to make sure that he knows about what these changes are that I'm thinking about before kind of publicizing them. But at this point, there's going to be no kind of drastic changes.
No major changes.
When it comes to the praise band. There are a few things that I'd like to see done that I think we can do better, but no drastic changes at this point.
Right. But they're not going to be going upstairs, or are they going to? That's a major.
Is that a drastic change?
That's a major
That's
change.
a major change.
That would be a major change. So there are no major changes that are happening.
I think you were able to quash that rumor pretty quick on that one, so that's good. A few weeks ago, Father, you preached a homily straight from the heart, and concerning the weight on your heart of the evil talk that goes on. You talked about things you enjoy about this job and things that you don't. A lot of people knew what you meant. A lot of people did not know what you meant. And it's still kind of discussed. So could you kind of shed light on that a little bit about about that homily?
Sure. So, of course, I can't really share specifics because, of course, we don't want to betray confidence of people who have approached me and whatnot and different things that I've seen. So I kind of have to give that caveat kind of at, first and foremost. So I kind of have to talk generally about, what I meant and kind of what it means. So, of course, evil talk itself that phrase comes from St. Paul, which I mentioned in my homily. I believe it was Ephesians 4. Never let evil talk pass your lips. And so, that homily kind of came from a lot of small things that had been slowly accumulating that I had been made aware of. Bickering between parishioners, lots of criticism of staff members that work for me, kind of things happening in group settings that just was not very productive. Rumors and gossip about various aspects of the church, about our building, about how finances are handled, just all sorts of things. So, it just got to the point where, I couldn't handle it anymore as far as, just hearing all these things, which is kind of what produced that homily. And, there have been a handful of times where, I've gone to my chapel at my house and I've just sat in front of the Blessed Sacrament and asked our Lord, why am I here? I don't understand. And, that was happening with this evil talk going around. That was one of the handful of times that has happened. I'm not going anywhere, but and I'm not going to run away from any of these problems or anything, even though I do train, you see me around town. That's not what that's for.
No.
Headed
But
No.
yeah,
Aren't
right,
ya?
yeah.
Right.
Running
So,
the whole way
right.
there.
but I mean, these things that happen, this evil talk just does not contribute well to the life of the parish, and kind of me as the head of the parish. I mean, y'all know better than I do that this is a small town, and word spreads fast, and word spreads to me whenever these things are happening and
Right.
going on in the parish. I will say I'm very grateful to those parishioners who, after I gave that homily, came up and apologized, or said, "Father, if I've done anything like that, I'm very sorry." So that was very consoling to hear. On the flip side, I understand, one homily is not going to fix everything, and this evil, it still continues, to this day. In fact, as of this recording, this morning at Mass, I experienced the effects of the evil talk with a parishioner today after Mass. So it's still going on, and it's not helpful. It's not very productive to what we're here doing as a parish. So what can you do to stop it? Probably my sort of first and foremost thing is to have everyone sort of look inward to see, what is it that I'm doing to contribute to the evil talk? Is there something that, is there something I've said? Is there an interaction with a parishioner that I've had that is uncharitable, that is contributing to this? What do I need to do to stop, right? As far as maybe gossip or rumors go, criticizing others, talking bad about them behind their back, one of the advices that I give in the confessional when somebody confesses this kind of sin is that if you find yourself talking bad or negatively about a person, sort of balance that out with saying something positive about them. So if you are able to say 3 negative things about a person, can you come up with 3 positive things to balance it out, right? So, of course, it'd be great if you didn't say anything negative, but at the very least, to kind of balance it out and kind of get going in the right direction, if you can criticize someone, can you say something positive about them as well? So that would be the 2 sorts of things that I would suggest when it comes to this evil talk. Number 1, to turn inward, to see, is there something that I'm doing to contribute to the problems, right? To this evil talk, to the criticism, to the negativity. And then secondly, if you find yourself engaged in evil talk, to do something positive to balance it out, to sort of get away from all that negativity that just doesn't help the parish at all.
Right,
So
right.
that's what I'd have to say.
Well,
It's
Father,
just so disappointing.
oh, I know. And,
It is.
what I really appreciate about you is that you're human. You're a human being. We may have someone come and talk negatively about what we're doing or some other ministry, but you hear the negativity concerning all the various ministries, all the people that are here to help you. And I just want to offer Unity News to you to use if you ever want to get that word out or speak about anything on your heart.
Sure.
We can run a special.
Mm-hmm.
We'll run a special. We'll put you on, and you're able to communicate. And and I want to just communicate to our viewers that this is the Lord's church. This is a parish, and we need to treat each other because we're all different people from different aspects of life, and we just need to treat people as our brothers and sisters. And we need to give Father the respect that he deserves and that he has earned, to realize that this is a big parish. This parish, Corning, Engelberg, the school, all the things that he has going on, and you've done a phenomenal job, and you need to be commended.
Thank you. I appreciate
And
it.
but we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to help bridge some of that communication, and also allow you, if you call me up, text me, whatever. If you want to get something out that you want to discuss, Claire will come in. We'll come in. We'll sit down.
Absolutely.
We'll put you on for a 20-minute, news special or something, because, it's hard, when we're all coming together to celebrate the Mass, and then you're homily and you're discussing the Word and discussing that. It's hard to really kind of break things down like we just did.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something we have an advantage that a lot of parishes don't. Well, no parishes have it, according to the bishop. We're the only parish that's doing this. But there is interest in other parishes wanting to kind of do what we're doing. And so you feel free. We want to be there to help you.
Thank you.
Anytime.
And just, to your point about me being human, I mentioned in that homily that, I'll be the first to admit I've engaged in some of the criticism myself, and, talking bad about parishioners with other parishioners, that's not appropriate. I mean, I need to go to confession myself, but, I do appreciate you mentioning, I mean, I am human. I'm trying to do the best that I can with all the responsibilities that have been placed on me. And like I said, I'm not planning on going anywhere.
You better not.
I'm not running away from any of this stuff. So,
you better not.
So anyway, just continue to, I guess, do these things that I suggest. I can't tell anyone what to do, and just continue to pray for me as I try and lead these parishes. And
right.
Pray for our parish.
Pray for our parish too. And we have so many needs out there, so many other ministries that we need to form as well. And, it's tough, leading ministries. We've led ministries, but you're leading a parish, and, you just know we're here for you.
Oh, thank you.
We're here for you. So this is our December episode. And, Claire, did you have anything you wanted to add or to what I just said?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know if you wanted to add something or not.
That was perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it wasn't perfect.
Well,
I'm nowhere near perfect.
No,
I'm human.
It definitely wasn't perfect.
I'm human. I'm definitely human.
well, you hit all the points.
I try to.
I think that, I was surprised because I think a lot of people are not aware. Some people are not aware of the negative talk. And whenever you get up there, that's where this question comes from. They're like, wait, hold on. Where is this even coming from? So, and thank goodness, I guess to not know is probably the best, because obviously you're not part of that problem.
Those, who don't have no idea, not contributing to the issues.
So, but yes, I mean, of course, like I said, it was disappointing. We're supposed to be Christ-like. This is a parish. This is church. And so, like you said, to just kind of reflect on yourself first before you, what is the beam in one eye?
Oh, Jesus talks about
Jesus
the
talks
speck.
about it.
Yeah, the beam in your own eye as opposed to the splinter in your neighbor's eye, your brother's eye.
So, yep.
And I suggest too, if you go to Father with an issue, why don't you go to Father with a solution?
Right.
Because that, like we just spoke, nothing's perfect. But if you've got an issue, by all means, He's there for us all. He's there for us all, and we need to be able to go to Him. But come to Father with a solution to something. And if you want to start a ministry, come on Unity News. We'll help you promote it, because this is a ministry, and this was founded to help with the issues of communication, but also to promote other ministries. And we want to be a tool for that. So, I hope that got a lot of the questions answered. I think, Father's answers just a few minutes ago were very, very direct. They were definitely from the heart. And I think that's something that, a lot of people should appreciate. I do. And I can tell you do as well, Claire.
Yes.
And, but keep the comments and questions coming. We're going to I try to keep the show as positive as we can. But sometimes we have to kind of dig into some of this, and we want to be transparent. Your homily also spoke about the 3 T's, but you added a 4th one, which was transparency. Yes. And we want to be transparent. We're not trying to cover nothing up or hide anything. And Father, we want to make sure that you understand He's not either, and no one is. We're just, sometimes when the news just gets to be so much, we are a news show, and we have to report on that in order to keep that promise of transparency. So, but keep the questions coming in. I want to reach out to our viewers, out in Pulaski County. The viewership in Pulaski County is really increasing. And just before the show, I mentioned to Father that Craighead County, a lot of you viewers in Craighead County are coming on, and we appreciate that. And we want to say Merry Christmas to all of our parishioners from Corning, Engelberg, Pocahontas, and all the viewers that are watching us across the state. Merry Christmas from Unity News. God bless, and we'll see you for our January episode. And good night.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.